Hello and welcome to another update video about Kaspa. We might want to introduce a small change to this wave count here, to this structure, allow for a little bit more of a pullback. And that's just based on an assessment of the latest structures that are developing here, basically based on the length, not the depth, but the length of this current correction that I see. Bigger picture, however, nothing really changed. Even with the adjustment I would like to make with you here, nothing really changed on this chart. So the idea is still that one more high would be a reasonable expectation, but the support level is going to change a little bit. Obviously, we have a chart here that is in an uptrend, and I have this scenario of a diagonal pattern that's unfolding. There are two main reasons why I'd like to change something. First of all, in the diagonal, which is the yellow wave count, we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and the wave 5 is very extended. Not invalid, but getting a little bit unrealistic. So that's one reason why I'd like to make a change. And the other reason is that in this fifth wave, which is basically an ABC structure because we're dealing with a diagonal, within the C wave, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That wave 4 gets a little long, and taking these 2 points together, I'd like to make a change to the count, and I think we can sort of do that together. Let me clean up the chart a little bit, but overall it doesn't change the assumption that one more high would be a reasonable expectation. So best I can tell is that where we had this previous structure here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to replace that completely by the white structure. So we had this on the chart before as a proposed A, B, C structure. So I will take yellow out basically, just leave white on the chart and allow it to just form that larger ABC structure. That would allow me in the C wave just to count a 5-wave move from the beginning of wave C. Makes it a little bit clearer, allows for a bit more of a pullback, and would explain why this current pullback is taking so long, right? So again, this is not based on invalidation, but I think invalidation could occur if we don't change something. And I want to make you aware proactively about any potential changes. In addition to that, it just gives it a little bit more space, and overall the uptrend wouldn't be affected, the proposed uptrend, yeah? So the idea is obviously if we count this as an ABC structure, then let me change the wave degree of this actually. So lift it up 1 wave degree. And then within the A wave, also we have an ABC structure. It's a very clear 3-wave move. Yeah, and then within the C wave, it's a bit of a mess what's going on here, but best I can tell is that the C wave is unfolding obviously as a 5-wave move, but it's likely going to be some kind of a diagonal pattern here. But we can identify a wave 1, we can identify a wave 2. I would argue this could be the 3, this could be the 4, and this could be the 5. This adjustment allows for a deeper pullback. Okay, let me just also lift the wave degree here. Actually, that means, yeah, so this looks good now. And now we can work on the support area for circle wave 4. First of all, this means the C wave is likely a diagonal pattern. Well, we can actually count it as an impulse as well, but because the wave 1 is so choppy, I'd rather prefer that this entire move is a diagonal, which means the subwaves are corrective. That basically means we just have to prepare ourselves for frequent wave count changes. But so far, the uptrend is not broken. And what it's doing here resembles a little bit, potentially a bullish flag, you know. Oops, let me just adjust that. And if we draw a parallel channel here, the price might try to break out here just now, but there's not enough evidence for it at this stage. Important then to understand what is support. So best way to calculate support here for a 4th wave is to measure the length of the 3rd wave. And there we go. Yeah. And it still needs to, look good in terms of proportions. So I think the 7.1 cent level here is new support level. That seems to work well. Let's double check if we can draw a trend line onto the chart as well. Something that might guide the price, but I don't think there's anything reliable. Maybe this one where we have 3 touch points down here, but that's really all in terms of trend line I can do. And yeah, it just basically means that if we get a sustained break below 7.1 cents, probably this fifth wave may not materialize and this pullback would be deeper than ideal. Also taking together with the trend line, we would break below the trend line. The next support level then would be at 5.1 cents, but it would already have, well, made the Elliott wave count very, very unlikely or unreliable. So we would then need to explore other options. This is still not the most reliable wave structure because we're dealing with an ABC structure, and in the C wave likely a diagonal. Could be an impulse, but I don't really want it to break below the 50% fib level, or I would have to adjust the projection, the wave count, and it would then have topped just simply in an ABC structure because one wave is actually missing. Now that takes us to maybe some revised targets. Let's see if we need to revise targets. What can we say? So typically a target for the C wave is the 100% extension of the A wave. Based on these measurements, 38 cents. Yeah. Just double check that. Yeah, so roughly 38 cents. Would be a key target for this C wave. Can always extend higher, but let's first see if we get there. Now, this is just the higher level target, right? But obviously we can use the length of waves 1 and 3 and go to the low of the wave 4, and then we get some additional projections. And it's the area between 25.7 cents and 47.4 that's going to be relevant. But if the wave 4 goes a little lower, we'll have to adjust it because you measure these targets against the low of the wave 4. That's my update about Kaspa. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.